Hey everybody, this is Ryan. Let's go over what I'm calling the pre-hook to Uptown Funk. It looks like this. Goes Uptown Funk, gonna give it to ya. Uptown Funk, gonna give it to ya. Uptown Funk, gonna give it to ya. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. A lot of great benefits to learning this. We are primarily just working on funk guitar stuff and learning how to play octave chords on the A and G strings and on the D and B strings. So let's dive right in. To start, your right hand is just going to be motoring the entire time. You can see in the tab that I have it tabbed out as down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can also do this with all down strums, whichever way suits your fancy. So that's the right hand. Now let's take a look at what octave chords are. So an octave chord is what it sounds like. It's just an octave. And it's a chord because there's more than one note. So the way that you can play an octave chord is many different ways. We're going to start with the A and the G octave chord. So it looks like this. First finger on the 5th fret of the A, and then either your ring or your pinky on the 7th fret of the G. Now the key with octave chords is muting all the other strings. So your first finger is going to lightly touch the low E string. Your first finger is also going to mute this D string right here. Your pinky is already, or your ring finger is going to play the 7th fret. Then you can use either your ring or your pointer finger to mute the B and the high E. So let's just get this chord down first by doing it one string at a time like this. About that fast. Here we go. Again. One more time. And now let's freeze our fingers and move up one fret, like this. Go ahead and play with me. And move up one more fret. And now one more fret. And you get the idea. So this is how we play our A and our G string octave chord. Now, why octave chords are super useful is because they can serve to take any melody note and they can add more power and more energy into it by adding the bass note. So what was maybe this is now this. So you can take your funk guitar elements and add them in there. These octave chords are also used a lot in punk music and rock and roll music, all sorts of different kinds of music. But they basically can make a melody sound more full because you're adding the lower part in there. Similarly, if you wanted to make the bass stand out a little bit more, you can add the octave on top. So that way it comes out even more in your guitar playing. But anyway, and because these are octave chords, we're choosing to switch on this A note to this B flat. But again, because these are octave chords, this 7th fret right here is A, this is A flat, this is G, G flat, etc. So this is how you play the A and the G octave chord. And this is really great to know because if you freeze your fingers and you move up a set of strings like this, it's the exact same thing for your low E and your D string. So now you know how to play octave chords on this string set and on this string set. Now it looks a little bit different on this one because that's not a full octave, that's a major 7th. So we need to take this and move it up here. So I would recommend that you use your first finger to play the 5th fret on the D, and then you use your pinky to play the 8th fret on the B. And then we're still muting all the other strings. So this first finger is going to lightly touch the A. We're going to play this D string. The G string is muted. Then you have the pinky that's going to play the 8th fret on the B. And then you just have a finger that's muting this. Now, there's no real way to play octave chords and to at least for me, comfortably mute that low E string. So what you have to do with your octave chords is be more intentional about where your right hand is strumming. So as I'm strumming these chords, I'm being very careful to not hit that low E string. And that's the only thing I'm really thinking is it's just kind of like play down a little bit more instead of going through all the strings like that. So let's take from the A string and then work our way down the set of strings to make sure that we got this sounding good, and then we'll do the same thing where we move up in half steps. Here we go. That A string was supposed to be muted, my bad. Here we go. Up one more step. Here we go. Again. Up one more step. Now this is a B note. Again. And one more step. Here we go. One last time. So now you know how to play octave chords on the D and the B string. But what's great is that if you freeze your fingers and you move down a set of strings, now to your G and your high E, it looks exactly the same for playing octave chords up here. And you can see that when I do some of these octave chords too, another way to mute is by taking maybe your middle finger and lightly placing it on the A and the low E strings. So that way you can actually strum across all the strings and not have to worry about these strings ringing out. So now that we've gone over octave chords, basically this riff is going to be an exercise in practicing our octave chords on this string set and on this string set. So it'll look like this. We're going to go about that fast. So we're going to do a dead string first, then you're going to play the chord. And again, you can do downs or you can do down up, whatever you want to try out. So let's take it about that slow. And let's go through all of it. So we're going to go all the way up to just the 12th fret to start. And then you'll notice that we can't go any farther because this part of our guitar is going to block and it's going to make it difficult to go all the way up there. So that's why we have to use this string set anyway. If you can do this on electric guitar, then man, you're good. You can go all the way up here, no problem, supposedly. So let's start and just go all the way up to the 12th fret. Here we go. And hey, if you want extra practice, this is a really great way to go ahead and name your notes as you're doing this. So let's go back to the 5th fret and let's do that one more time. So this is D, E flat, to E, to F, to F sharp, to G sharp, to A. But actually, before we do that, let's just do this string set. So it'll look like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and don't believe me, just watch, right there. So let's practice just that that bar going into the very last bar. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let's do that again. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. One last time. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now let's practice going from this A octave chord to this B flat octave chord. So no real tempo, just play this A octave chord here. And now let's go to the B flat here. Go back to the A, back to the B flat. We'll do this just a few more times. One last time. Oops. And now let's try to take it even slower and let's do the entire thing. So maybe about that fast. Here we go. D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. We're going to go to this part right here. Now put these two together. Okay, so let's try that one more time. Here we go. Now over here. Put these two together. So this was your tutorial on octave chords, aka what I'm calling the pre-hook for Uptown Funk. And I will see you all in the practice video.